Phillips Lake in Mason County, which is right next to Spencer Lake, so partially close to Allen, I suppose. Haven't fished this lake before.
All right, good morning, folks. We are out here at Phillips Lake in Mason County, and as usual, I'm having camera issues. These GoPros and external batteries do not work well. I like to loop, and it's just not conducive because it blows through the regular GoPro battery super fast, and the external batteries keep vexing me. So first report, I am running obviously a sling blade with a wedding ring Pro Troll, and I just picked one up. I have an ounce of lead on this thing, and I'm actually running it 20 feet behind the kayak, and that was the second fish today for me.
So I'm going to start today with a dipsy. This is the smallest dipsy, the 3/0 I think it is, and then pink Trout Tricks minnow behind a wiggle fin disc.
So just had a hit on this top rod again, and again, that is 1 ounce of lead 20 feet behind the boat, and off he goes.
Still have a fish. Caught 3 or 4 out of Crescent Lake the other day on the trial run of this boat, and it doesn't look like we have a fish. Are we hooked up or are we not? No! God darn it!
So we actually got a double, got one here now on this side of the kayak, and the adjustment I made is I got rid of the downrigger, and I just went with a Dodger and that Trout Tricks minnow, and 100 feet behind the kayak, no weight.
All right, we've had a ton of these little, maybe hooked up, maybe not. So I'm fishing with that dipsy. It's 35 feet back, and I think I might actually have a fish this time, and I do, and he's a dinky little thing. He's a little bass, tiny little thing.
So hooked up again on the service rod. Again, that's 1 ounce of weight. And you're probably saying, well, why use 1 ounce of weight? Well, my simple answer is that's all I brought with me today. And so you got to make do with what you have sometimes. And so, wow, that thing is pulling drag. Oh yeah, we'll see if we can get this one on the boat, because this is going to be a nicer fish for here.
So I'm only trolling 25 feet behind the boat with an ounce rooster tail, the brown trout pattern. So that's my rig up. I've got an ounce of lead, fast limit Dodger, and that tiny little rooster tail right there. It's gonna go.
That there feels like a nice fish too. But it's interesting that the top rod is out producing. This would be the 3rd fish on this side and the 15th fish overall. Now I'm not gonna mess with what's working.
Okay, so there's a good hookup. So we were only in 12 feet of water there, still trolling that wedding ring. Water temp is 67 degrees now, so they've gone a little bit deeper, and he looks like a decent trout anyway. Oh, and he's gone right there. Gosh darn it.
So we're hooked up. I just switched. I would on that green skateboard Dodger and an orange Trout Tricks minnow. So that's a double through there. So I literally just let down and hooked right back up. This is, I think, fish 30 or 30. Well, that's interesting. So, little perch. Okay,
Okay, so I've started fishing a little bit with the Dipsy divers. This is a 3/0 Dipsy. It's the smallest one they make. This one's different than the other ones that they make in that it does not have a release mechanism. Most of them have a release, and I've got them in the boat that are bigger than this, but the release, you adjust the tension here and it trips up, which allows the Dipsy to be more in line, and then you're not fighting the weight of the Dipsy when you're pulling it in. They do have a substantial weight to them. They're actually a trolling weight, and what happens is you rig it here, it planes down and dives as you let it back out the back of the boat, and then you attach your leader and your presentation behind this, so it's going through the water like this and pushing its way down. The other cool thing that Dipsies have is this rotational disc on the back that you can set to 0 or to plane, whichever direction you want, and that bait will actually, like yesterday, I had this thing adjusted over to where it was planing off to the side away from the boat. So the Dipsy is not only doing this, it's also doing this. So it's running through the water and it's pulling off the side of the boat. That's probably a bigger issue if you're running out of a power boat, because fish can be a little shy with the motor running. In a kayak, the kayaks are so quiet that they don't really disturb the fish very much. So we tend to run fairly short setbacks with the kayak because of the stealth of the kayak itself. But I just got the downrigger installed on the new Pro Angler yesterday. Today is the first day I fished it, so I was running this Dipsy the rest of the week because this is what I was trying to use for, this is obviously not as repeatable as a downrigger. But if you let out the same amount of line with the same settings, in theory, you should be hitting, and you're going the same speed, in theory, you should be hitting the exact depth. And there are charts on Lure Jensen to tell you what angle, how far out, how fast you're going, and how far the Dipsy should be down. Right. So we've been out here at Phillips Lake today. Body water's not huge. It's less than 100 acres, correct, Pete?
It's like 106.
Okay, so it's just barely over 100 acres. So you got a concrete boat ramp. They have bathrooms, pit toilets, of course. Doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic on. The wakeboarders and stuff have just started coming out, and Pete caught a ton of fish today. I didn't catch that many. You'll see them on the video, but it's got bass in here. We caught some perch, we caught some trout. I think the biggest of the day was about 15 inches. So it's a great lake. Water temperature's about 67 right now. First time we've been here, and we really had a good time.